Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another installment of Scott's Selections here for Saturday, August 22nd. Before we get into today's play the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We ended up picking up a nice winner with the Celtics -5, which was available on FanDuel at -110. Game was very tough, very close. I thought Philadelphia would throw in the towel after game two, but props of Brett Brown. He actually got his team to show up and play some defense. But the Celtics ended up going on a 10-0 run the final 2 minutes, which was helped out a lot by a clear path foul, and we ended up picking up a nice winner there. It's always important to remember, first of all, it's sometimes better to be lucky than good. Second of all, people, especially bettors, tend to remember the bad beats a lot more than the lucky wins. And, you take what you can get. So overall, I'm not going to complain about that. Nice winner there in the NBA. We're going to be diving back to the NBA once again here on Saturday. We're going to be looking at a matchup between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Portland Trail Blazers for Game 3 of their respective series. And the play that is going to be the Lakers -7, which is available on DraftKings at -110. I was really torn between taking the -7 or the under 225, but at the end of the day, I decided to take the Lakers spread instead because Portland's defense is so bad that I'm a little bit concerned taking an under when Portland could easily give up 120 points if things just completely fall apart defensively once again. A couple reasons why I like the Lakers here. First of all, it's available at -7.5 at both Fox Bet and at both Fox Bet and FanDuel, and it's still -7 and -110 on DraftKings. It's already gaining half a point of value, but Portland have had some issues with offensively in this series. They scored 100 points in game one, didn't shoot well. The Lakers were just awful from the floor and ended up winning. And they only scored 88 points in game two, which was led by a 30-point fourth quarter where all the bench players played in garbage time. So Portland, with the starters in the game for three quarters, scored 19 points in the first quarter, 20 points in the second quarter, and 19 points in the third quarter, which means if you're doing the math at home, they had 58 points after three quarters. Los Angeles' defense just absolutely clamped down Portland, and I don't see much changing here. The issue you have with Portland is that you have Lillard who can create his own shot, McCollum who can create his own shot. Melo thinks he can create his own shot, even though he's been terrible in the series, and he went 1 for 6 in game two. But other than that, who else do you really have that can create their own shot? You have Trent Jr. off the bench, who's more of a three-point spot-up guy. Whiteside can't create his own shot. Hazonia is awful. And Nurkic, I guess, can create his own shot in the paint, but he's more of a pick-and-roll kind of distributor guy who tends to go around the basket, occasionally shoot a jump shot from the outside. But for the most part, Portland has two real ball handlers who can create their own shot, and I think that that's a serious problem against the Lakers, who have been a phenomenal defensive team all season long. Plus, not even to mention the big elephant in the room, which is the massive fracture to Lillard's offhand. It's not a shooting hand, but Lillard ended up fracturing a finger in the last couple minutes of the third quarter, which prompted a pretty angry Terry Stotts addressing the media, who got angry at one of the reporters for asking him that question of why Lillard was even in the game down 30 points, which I'm sure a lot of Portland's fans wanted to know. And he got angry and gave some answers saying he was playing basketball, whatever. Yep, Terry Stotts kind of screwed them in the series, and now Lillard, I'm not saying that he's going to completely fall apart because he has a fracture in his right hand, or his left hand, his offhand. But either or, it definitely is not going to help the shooting stroke. And he went 6 for 7. He went 6 for 14 in game two, 1 for 7 from three. Really didn't play well, and now he's going to have to deal with a potential. I don't really know if there's going to be anything on his hand or not. They might tape two fingers together. It's still not going to feel natural. And I think Lillard should look a little bit off with his shot in this game. But for the most part, Los Angeles proved in game two that Anthony Davis cannot be guarded by anybody on Portland, and it's not even close. Davis only played three quarters. He had 31 points, 11 rebounds, 13 for 21 from the floor. I am a bit concerned with how LeBron's been playing. He had 10 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 6 turnovers, 4 for 11 from the floor. I'm not sure if LeBron's injured or what's going on with LeBron. I'm kind of hoping he'll be able to pick it up. At the end of the day, Portland, even though Trent Jr. has done a great job on LeBron, I'm hoping LeBron wakes up and realizes he can just go to the rim anytime he wants and get free layups. But it's mostly just the fact that Anthony Davis can't be guarded, and the Lakers bench actually woke up in game two. They shot 47% from the floor as a team. They ended up shooting 37% from the three-point line. Portland just has fallen apart offensively. The Lakers' defense is phenomenal. And the Lakers have also dominated on the boards, which is kind of surprising when you think of Nurkic and Whiteside alongside Gabriel. I know Zach Collins is a decent rebounder, and he's out for the year. But the Lakers out-rebounded the Trailblazers by 9 in game two. I still don't think the Trailblazers have any answer for Anthony Davis. And I think that McCollum, who has struggled a bit in the series, and Lillard, who has been the the heart and soul of this team now having a fracture in his finger, I think is a serious problem for Portland. I know that if you look at how this line originally opened up and where the money's come in, I expect more money to come in on the Lakers in this matchup. I don't want to see who's going to be betting on Portland. It opened up at -7. It's already up to -7.5 in most of the books offshore. This line probably should close around 8.5. And I personally think that the Trailblazers will struggle once again, especially if Lillard is not 100%, which he's clearly not, with a fracture in his finger. So once again, the play of the day for Saturday, August 22nd, is going to be on the Lakers -7, which is available on DraftKings at -110. That's been this installment of Scott's Selections here for Saturday, August 22nd. Good luck to all of you and your respective bets today. Bye, everyone.